Hello and welcome back. So today we're gonna talk about ArteMagicum. ArteMagicum is an Electroblob addon, and it's not just an Electroblob addon that adds spells. It's an Electroblob addon that it changes the way that the universe is. So the first thing it adds, it's a progression system where you progress through elements and you increase your knowledge about each element to be stronger. So the first thing is, whenever you use a spell, you will gain more knowledge, and to understand how much knowledge you have about any spell, you will need a knowledge orb. So you can find knowledge orbs normally in loot, but you can also crafting using the time magic, and it has a recipe there. So now the way that the knowledge works is that you start with level 0. So for example, I have a knowledge orb right here, and if I right click it, it will tell me that I have 0. If I use a spell, so level 0 I can only use Nova spell. So if I use a spell from Novus, I will just use it simply, and that will increase my knowledge. But it wouldn't work from the first time. It's up to your luck. So now I used 3 times and I gained 1. And the more you increase your knowledge, the more you can use spell. So let's say I wanna use a magic spell from a higher level. So this is Meteor, a master spell. What will happen? So let's see. So by using the spell, it will tell me your element knowledge is not that high enough, and it will just give me this curse. So I get blindness, nausea, fire resistance, arcane jumper. Arcane jumper is a curse from Electroblob that will make you not be able to use spell. So now I can't use spells because I tried to use a spell not from my level or not from my knowledge. Okay. So also I have one knowledge orb. I wanna see if I have knowledge for different things. So I can shuffle. If I sneak and right click having the orb in my hand, I can shuffle it, and that would change the element. So now I have a different element. So that's nature. I can do the same, and that's how it works. So basically, by using more spells, you increase your knowledge, and when you increase your knowledge, you will unlock new spells. You can use higher tiers of spells. So for now, I increased my knowledge, and now I'm Archmage. That's the highest. I can use all the spells. But not just that. By reaching higher levels, you will unlock the ability to unlock passives, which basically you will be stronger at this element, and you will gain potency by increasing your knowledge, and also you can unlock the ability to use spell. So by that, I can use MP. And also when you have higher levels, you will be able to see your MP on the top left. And one more thing that art adds is the fact that whenever you use a spell, you will have these looking circles when you cast a spell. And one more thing is that when you reach a high level, which is when you reach the high mage as a level in your element, you will unlock a bless, and each element has a bless. So let's get into blesses. Now for blesses, so the way that you get a bless is by increasing your knowledge. So when you reach a specific knowledge, which is a high mage, it's 5000. You can change the numbers in the config if you want. And if you reach that number, which is 5000 high mage, is a master level, you will get a bless for that element, and that bless will stick with you. So now let's get to the element. So now I get it for fire. That means I get a plus for fire, which means I have fire resistance, and I also can set things around me in fire. So if there's mobs around or anything, if I sneak, I can set them in fire. Now let's say I got a bliss and I don't want that bliss. I want to remove it. You can remove it. So there's two things that you can remove. So there's two elixirs that you can remove blesses with them, and you can find them normally or craft them using the timer. So they're different in the way. So the first bless you can use it to remove the blesses, and the second one you can remove all the progression. So if I remove the bless from me, if I use that one, that will remove the bless from me. So now I lost the bless, I can start progressing more and get a new one. So let's say I removed it for the fire one, but I still want the fire one. What can I do? So the way that I can do is if I upgrade myself to Archmage, which is by default 10,000, I will get the fire one back. Or I can, as I planned already that I want to move to a different place, I can just increase myself to that place, which is the 5,000. So let's say I'm already Archmage and I want the bliss for that thing. So I'm already 10,000, but I still want the fire one, and I already have something else. There's only one way to do that, is to remove all of your progression and then repeat everything. But when you remove all of your progression, which you have to be careful about this part, you will lose all of your progression for all elements. So you have to be very careful about this and think about the blesses you want before you get the bless. So let's get into what all the blesses do. For the nature bless, I have immunity to slowness, nausea, and poison. For example, if I throw a splash potion at me, I don't take damage. Also, I have resistance and haste, and I give resistance to all of my teammates. all of my allies. And the last thing is that I don't take fall damage. So if I drop from high places, I don't take fall damage. Now for lighting, you get glowing and regeneration too. So you have this glowing around you and you have regeneration too. And you cannot get water breathing or more regeneration. And also your active is that when you sneak, you will paralyze everything around you. Now for the Bliss of Darkness. So when you have the Bliss of Darkness, undead mobs won't attack you. So like this, if I summon a zombie, that zombie will attack me. Also, I gain strength. But if I go out in the sun, I have the Curse of Undeath. So basically, the sun or anything like that will damage me. Also, instant health regeneration potion will damage me. But I have immunity to weather effect. And I also, if I sneak, I will do decay. So anything around me will have like a withering effect, and you will keep taking damage. So and if I go out in the sun, for example, I'll start. The sun will set me on fire. And I always have hunger on me. For the sorcery bliss, you get muffle, weakness, and mining fatigue, saturation. And also if you sneak, you and all of your allies will get move speed and jump boost 3. And also you will get immunity to fall damage. So this is the same as natural bliss. You get the same thing, fall immunity to fall damage. For the light bliss, you get glowing and regen 2. Also, you get immunity to poison, weather, and slow. So like this, I don't get slow. Also, by sneaking, I activate my ability, which I deal damage to all undead mobs, and I deal damage to people blessed with the darkness. And I also give my allies warding and regen. So like I buff my allies and I deal damage to the undead or people with the darkness plus. For the ice plus, you're immune to frost, and you're also immune to mind control, and you have the passive frost. And also if you sneak, you will activate your ability to freeze everything around you, putting them in the frost mode, and which you will be able to activate other things with it. And also a really important thing, if you have the ice plus, going to the nether will be very difficult for ice plus players. For the fire blast, you get immunity to fire, so you have fire resistance, and also you can set things around you on fire. So like for example, any items like that will be set on fire. Also, if you activate your skill, you will set everything around you to fire. So items normally be set on fire when you drop them, but mobs you have to sneak, which you activate your ability, and they will set everything around you on fire. ArteMagicum also adds wandering withers, where you can find wandering withers, and also changes the way that withers are. So you normally have only male wither, but ArteMagicum adds young withers, and they can be male or female. And also it changes the way that withers are. So withers have now classes or like ranking. So a normal ranking wizard or a young wizard will not be able to access high level spells, so like such as master spell, but it will be like included to like low level spells as like novus or advanced or max, and that's for wizard. Also it adds magical things that can spawn in the wild normally. So you have spawn, so it can be spawn magic slime, it can also spawn ice giants, and it can also spawn spirits and fairies. Those are all things it can spawn normally. And the last thing it can spawn is can also spawn phoenix. So these are things that can spawn. And you can change the spawn rate for eating, and you can find them normally. And also by chopping off natural things like wood or something like that. So let's see if we get lucky, we can find, yeah, here, an Asher spirit. And killing the spirit can give you spirit dust, and like an Asher spirit can also give you more wood. So depending on the wood you were breaking, that spirit will give you more wood. Also you can find some wither duelings, and you can find a group of angry withers. For bosses now can spawn as elemental bosses, which will give them new passives and buffs, and they will be stronger depending on what element they get. And also they will have buffs, for example, like if they kill a player they can heal, and different things like that. Last thing I want to talk about in ArteMagicum is magic circles. So whenever you kill a wandering wither, so let me kill a wandering wither for example, when they die they will summon this magic circle. Also if there is two withers fighting each other, so when they cast spells now they will summon a magic circle. And the last thing is when I use a spell. So whenever I use a spell I will make a magic circle, but also If I use a spell, all my summoned mobs will have a summon circle under them too. That's it for ArteMagicum. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna leave a link for the mod in the description. Also, I'm gonna leave a link for my Discord if you guys wanna join. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.